Mighty name of Jesus. We thank you for bringing us here today. We give you all the praise and all the glory. Father, we pray that you have about to hear your word shall speak truly, and no soul shall leave this place the same way they came. As we live shall only change things in the mighty name of Jesus. Jesus is the prayer. So in the Bible, there are various people that gave and the reward for their giving was evident in their life. We have people like Dorcas. We all know the story of Dorcas, or also known as Savita. How she was dealing with thanksgiving, sewing of clothes to the poor and to the needy. And when she died, she was remembered for her good works. When she died, the poor come and heal her, and she was brought back to life. This is a testament that if we live, there's nothing impossible that God cannot do. Then we have Abraham. I don't know if you know the story of three visitors. When they came to visit him, and unknown to Abraham, they were angels. Without anybody persuading him, without anybody cajoling Abraham, he went and he visited the angels. He asked them, he literally begged them to feed them and give them water to wash their feet. And in response to his giving and his they promised him a son. That's when Sarah laughed, and then the whole story about Isaac came about. We have Cornelius, who, although at first was not a believer because he was a Gentile, but regardless of that, he still gave. And because of his giving, God saw him worthy of being a Jew, of being one who could be with him, who could be a believer. Now, what is giving? Giving means to hand somebody or something as a present. It means to use time and energy for something. Giving does not necessarily mean offering or having to give monetary things. Giving could be through works of charity, helping people. Giving does not exactly mean you must give offering or it must be monetary. It has to do with you actually putting an effort to helping somebody. Now, why do we give? Why is giving necessary? If I give, what benefits do I need? What benefits do I get? Number one, it is an order from God. Taking our reading from Leviticus 3, verse 3. And it says, "And ye shall offer of a sacrifice of peace offering, an offering made by fire unto the Lord, that fat covereth the inwards, and all the fat upon the inwards." Giving is a commandment. It may not be written that you must give, but it's expected of you to give. The mere fact that you are living, the mere fact that you are breathing, that you wake up every morning, it should be an obligation for you to give to God. When you pass this offering box, when you pass it empty-handed, it does not really send a good message to God who gives you life every single day. Number two, as a show of gratitude to God for his blessings. Luke 5, verse 14. When this man came up to Jesus, pleading for mercy for God to heal him, Jesus healed him, and then he told the man that he should go on to the priest and ask the priest what offering he should give as a show of gratitude to God. Because not offering something back to God, it will hinder future blessings. The same way, if I should sponsor anybody and I don't receive a thank you, the person should know that next time I will willingly give them anything. Because it's human nature. If us as human beings can want a gratitude, when we show that when we give to people, we want to appreciate them. What's more God? The same way also when we give people something, when we give out to people, we want them to tell us thank you, we want them to show their appreciation for us. That's the exact same way God wants it. And by doing that, by giving your offerings, harmfully to the poor, to the needy, to the church. You will not expect that you'll be praying to God morning, afternoon, night, and then you will not give anything to Him. That doesn't work. It doesn't work anywhere. If you want something from God, you should be able to sacrifice to Him. You should be able to give an offering to Him. If what you want is so important to you, then giving, putting sacrifice should not be hard. The same way how we do in dining, we exchange. Nobody will just wake up and give you their food. because you are weak. You want something from them. I will give you this and you give me this in return. That's the same thing with God. If you want something from God and you think that you have been praying and God is not answering your prayers, maybe you are doing something wrong. Try giving. Try putting an effort. Try thanksgiving, offering. Try giving your tithe. And then check this and see if your prayers will not be answered. Another reason why we give is as covenants and vows to God. We give when we want something. We make covenants, we make vows. And when we make these vows, it's expected that we fulfill them. A good example is the story of Hannah in the book of 1 Samuel 1, verse 9 to 20. But because of time, we will not read it. Hannah was a wife and a poor wife. Her poor wife had children, but she did not. And it was said in the Bible that she was castrated. She was mocked for being barren. And then she went unto the Lord and she knelt down before the temple. And she told God that if God should see her heart and open her womb, she was going to give her son, which she would bear, as a sacrifice to God. This is a covenant, this is a vow. When you want something from God, you should be able to give to Him. Now let's use us in this tool as an example. Let's say we are not really doing well academically, or we are trying to fight something, a bad character, a bad habit. And no matter how we try with our personal effort, it seems useless, null and void. Why don't you put a vow with it? Put a vow to God. Put something that if whatever you want does not come to pass, you'll be able to hold God accountable. If you put a vow with it and then whatever you are praying for does not work, then you can say that God is not answering your prayers. But I bet you that if you put a covenant with God, God will answer your prayers because He expects His covenant to be fulfilled. Lastly, number 5, why we give, it attracts God's blessings. We see this in the book with the story of the widow of Zarephath. 1 Kings 7, verse 9 to 16.
To the day that the Lord sent rain upon the land. And she went in and did as Elijah said. And she and he and her household ate for many days. The jar of meal was not spent, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the words of the Lord, which he spoke by Elijah. After this, the son of the woman.
So this story is talking about the widow at Zarephath. At this time in the Bible, this place called Zarephath was famine. Their books had dried up and there was no rain. So that means there was no food, there was nothing to harvest. And this woman, this widow, God directed Elijah to her and told him and told her to feed him. And when he got there, the woman told him that she has nothing cooked but just a little oil that she will prepare for her and her son to die. Meaning she had lost hope. She just wanted to cook that last meal, and after that, her and her son will perish. But then Elijah told her that nevertheless she should prepare a meal for him. And she promised her that if she does that, her oil will not dry up. And she did as she was told. Not everybody will do that. Imagine having your last money with you, and then somebody walks up to you and tell you that you should sponsor me to shop, that God will provide. It doesn't really sound alright. The person does not sound normal. But this woman believed and she cooked for Elijah. And she prepared a meal for him and he ate. And it was said in the Bible that God continued to replenish her food. He continued to replenish her foodstuffs. These signs and wonders were not just done because Elijah said it. If she had not given, if she had been stingy with her food, then she would have died. That died that she wanted her and her son to die, she would have gone. But as she did, her and her son lived till they saw rain. Meaning that when we give, whether it is said, whether it is commanded by God or not, when we see a needy and God puts it in our hearts to give to the person, and we actually give with a grateful heart, then God's blessings will be surplus on your life. You will not lack anything good. Just try it out. You don't have money, give out. Give out what you have last. And believe that God is going to replenish it and He's not going to disappoint you. Then